Good morning, everyone. Thank you for tuning in to Ask an Islander. I'm Bonnie with Project Grad. We are here with Allison Marks for our final installment of the semester, and we are actually going to talk about probably one of the most important things happening to all of us right now, which is how to cope with stress, how to kind of foster resilience, and what kind of services you'll have to help us do so. So thank you so much for sitting down with
My
us.
pleasure.
I appreciate it. So why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and what your job is here?
Sure. So I'm one of the psychologists at the Counseling Center. As part of my role here, I see our students in both individual and couples therapy. I also run one of our groups that focuses on depression and anxiety.
Oh, wow.
It's a really popular group that we run every semester for the past few semesters now. We're planning to have at least one of them again in the spring. We may actually offer two. And then I coordinate our outreach program. So anytime you see the Counseling Center out and about on campus, whether that's in your classrooms or at a table at an event, or some of the events that we host, like Pause on the Island that I'll talk a little bit more about, those are part of my job. So I'm here to kind of serve in the Counseling Center, but I also see it as my job to bring the Counseling Center to you whenever possible.
That's wonderful. So I think one of the big questions that we have right now, as we're getting into finals, as everybody's getting close to fall graduation, is what kind of small things can we do on our own to de-stress, to take a minute? What are kind of best practices not to get overwhelmed?
I think that's a great question. Everybody's different. So what works for one person isn't going to work for the other. And to be honest, if you Google stress management or stress relief techniques, you're going to find millions and millions of options. And none of them are necessarily bad. It's about finding what works for you. And so what I'll talk about today are sort of some general ideas that we have found work for a lot of students, but it may not be one size fits all. And so if what we offer today isn't a good fit for you, there's nothing wrong with trying to find, answers on the internet because there are lots of knowledgeable people out there, and different communities and different people find different things helpful. You can also come in and talk with us, and we can kind of one-on-one figure out some stress management techniques. But often what works for people is finding a way to quiet the mind and slow down. Now, I'm not necessarily talking about meditation, though that is helpful for some people, but just little things that get you out of that cycle of racing thoughts that we all fall into and gets you to kind of focus either on the here and now or your body rather than all that anxiety. Some very simple, common techniques involve using your five senses. So my favorite one is actually called Five Senses, Five Things. And what you do is there's a couple different ways you can do it, but my favorite way is you just kind of stop for a moment, either in your head or out loud, depending on the circumstances. You kind of pay attention. What are five things I see? And you take a breath as you think of each one or say one out loud. Then you would move on to five things you smell, taste, hear, touch. And it's not about being creative. It's not about, gosh, I have to come up with a new thing each time. If you're doing it, laying in bed at night trying to fall asleep and your thoughts are racing, if all you see is darkness, that's okay. You can just tell yourself, I see darkness. I see darkness. And the combination of paying attention to your body and breathing really helps quiet the mind. Other things that involve different senses would be something like aromatherapy. So lavender, I don't think you can see this, but it's a lavender pillow spray. Lavender's a great aromatherapy for sleep. There's aromatherapy that helps with energy, calming the mind, even kind of being able to concentrate and focus. And so aromatherapy activating smell is really effective. We also are a big proponent of coloring. It sounds silly, but what it does is it allows you to focus on something so your mind stays active, because a quiet mind isn't everybody's favorite thing, but it's focusing on something that's not necessarily going to stress you out. Now, adult coloring with lots of little intricate details is very popular, but by no means does you have to do that. For some folks, all those intricate details are what's stressful. Go pick up a dollar coloring book at the dollar store and color puppies. It doesn't matter. Just focus on something. And you can have a strategy about it. Pick 5 colors and focus on, I want to use each color 10 times. Or have fun with it, have all the colors, and just color what your heart feels. Puzzles, meditation, all of those are really great ways to kind of get you to focus on something without focusing on what's troubling you.
So are you kind of just distracting yourself a little bit?
Yes, and distraction gets a bad rap. Distraction is a great short-term coping mechanism.
Right.
Not a long-term solution.
Mm-hmm.
If you find your stuff in a box and never paying attention to it again, probably not the healthiest. But if it's what you need to do to get through the next hour, the next day, or just to the end of finals, there's actually nothing wrong with that.
Okay. And something I do at work is I try to get up and walk around.
Yes.
Like twice in the morning and twice in the afternoon. I literally just walk around my building, and when I leave, I think I'm not gonna I'm not gonna think about work stuff. And I try to just watch like what's going on around my building instead.
Yes.
Just kind of, and I feel like
mindful.
Yes, be mindful and just distract myself for just a few minutes, and then I come back, and then
Yeah, it
absolutely.
really doesn't have to be an all-day thing. 5 minutes. If you have an hour, great.
Yeah.
But if you don't, just take a couple minutes, get outside, do something different, walk away from your desk, go to the bathroom, splash some water on your face. Anything that kind of just changes up your scenery, changes up your sensations and your thoughts is going to be effective.
Now, if you're dealing with something heavier than just being overwhelmed by school, we can come in and talk to you.
Absolutely,
Okay.
and you can still come in and talk to us about being overwhelmed by school. But absolutely, if what's going on is just more than stress, we certainly can help.
Okay.
Our services are based on a walk-in basis initially, so if you're needing support, maybe you're just having a really bad day, you need to vent. A lot of times right now we get students who are struggling with making decisions about, am I going to enroll, do I need to withdraw from the university, what am I going to do, do I take January master classes, kind of decision making, do I break up with my partner before the holidays, things like that. Those are absolutely great things to come in and talk to us about. All you do is walk in Monday through Friday. We're open from 9 to 11:30. We do close for lunch, and then we open again from 1 to 4. And when you walk in at this time of the year, sometimes there's just a teeny bit of a wait. So we always tell folks, make sure you have about an hour. But usually most folks are in and out shorter than that. We just want you to be prepared if there's someone ahead of you.
Okay, wonderful. And then you were talking about your outreach stuff.
Yes.
So what other things are you bringing to the students coming up, like next week or something?
Paws on the Island. Everyone loves Paws on the Island. And we do it bigger and better every year. So this year we will definitely be bringing back our therapy dogs from Paws Up. We have our cats and kittens from the Cattery. And we'll also be introducing some massage, hand and chair massages from Aveda Institute. Not to mention some new stress management activities. So we take feedback from students every year, and we listen to that. And so we're incorporating a lot of what they've told us last year they want to see more of, or some of the changes they want to make. So Paws on the Island will be on reading day this year. We're hoping that allows more folks to come so that you're not having to rush to class or miss it because you have a test. And it'll be reading day December 6th, which is a Thursday, from 1 to 4. Please stop by. It is entirely free. All you need is a sand dollar.
It's awesome. And if you guys have not been, you have to go. There's something absolutely wonderful about taking 10 minutes to play with a puppy for a little bit. Like, it's so nice. I really appreciate that y'all do that. It's so popular too.
We love it. It's a nice stress relief for us, and we love seeing the students and talking to the students about kind of how this is helping them. It's a really great way to blow off steam right before finals when we know it's stressful for you guys.
Yes, it's a lot, y'all. And if you are struggling, please come talk to them. You absolutely have access to them. They're free. They're wonderful. They want to help y'all. Do not feel a certain way about coming in here. They're on campus for y'all, okay? So thank you so much for sitting down with us. I appreciate it. We will definitely come see you for Paws on the Island. We're so excited. And y'all, tonight is Islander Lights. We're so excited. Come by and see us. Project Grad will have, should I spoil it? I don't know if I should or not. I'm going to go ahead and spoil it. We have the cutest little reindeer bags ever that you can come make. Come see us. And also, next Thursday, we're having a painting class. We do them every semester. We picked a really cute kind of beachy wreath painting. It's darling. Register on iEngage. We will see y'all tonight, hopefully. Thanks again so much.
No problem. My pleasure.